practicing on Dragonshire here.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Are we going to see Zul Naziba then? Is that the answer? It's just going to bust out the kicking it old school EU style? I would like it. Honestly, I really would enjoy it if that's the direction they want to move into the draft. Whether or not they will, different story. Yeah, it is funny how we've seen a shift in priority and preference of maps around the world. Dragonshire went from non-existent to suddenly relatively relevant, I guess. But then maps like seeing the Infernal Shrines has been near the death of that map for some reason. Warhead still, you know, it's just kind of it's the stepchild that nobody really loved. Still, it's yet to reach its priority and favor for HGC.
Yeah, it's very niche when people want to choose that. Superstars banning Dahaka. Huh. I very much thought that Superstars would want that Dahaka pick.
You're going to first pick Falstad. That's the only way, right? Or the Zeratul. They're going to deny a Zeratul. Debatably not Zeratul's best map. It always comes down to the focus put towards the top lane. And seems weird considering the ban onto the top lane. Now that still leaves, as always, the Falstad here. This is... Oh, man. This is going to be interesting. We did see Tempo, the only game that we managed to get them onto this map against No Tomorrow. They did pick Zeratul themselves in the 2-3 rotation, so it's a deny. But the Malfurion's still up. We still have the opportunity to, you know, I think like a Malfalset is an insane rotation here for Tempo. Maybe go into the Varian, look for more kill potential, possibly.
Malfurion Varian, does that leave
sure.
damage down too far, though?
Just focus on kill potential. We've seen what Jaina can do on this map. It's gross, and you don't even have to fully go that direction. You go with the ETC. They go with the Malfurion. Okay, so sticking to what they know. Still leaving the opportunity to bring the EU Dream alive, where we get Zul. At least Zul, please. I would really like a Zul. I want Zul. I want a Zul Jaina specifically. That's the duo I would like to see the most.
Well, especially with Zeratul.
Yes. Ragnar Falstad. No surprise, really. With the lack of picking that up here for Tempo. Zarya removed. What do we want to see? Superstars drop. No focus towards the top laners yet. The 4-man has been very open-ended, so is going to be, you know, just looking towards like Tychus or Vala. They go with the Tychus. All right, Tempo Storm. You pick the unique map, not necessarily one you go to a lot. I'm sticking with Gilly's theory. I'm holding it as actually true.
I'm wondering if Tempo Storm are going to want to get Li Ming here once again as a damage dealer, but again, her wave clear in 4-man. They may switch that up, even though she is one of their favorites, and go for more of the Vala type hero here. Yeah,
I would definitely avoid the Li Ming purely based on the fact that outside of the Bermuda death triangle that exists here on Dragonshire between mid and bot, it's so likely to hit a minion into the gank. Like Jaina across all situations has more kill potential there, which is mostly why you pick Li Ming, unless your opponent has such an absurdly squishy backline that you can get the reset or your fear of a deny. I wouldn't be afraid to deny from Superstars, even though they do have the Zeratul here at this point in time. What's it going to be? They're going deep into the time pool. Very uncharacteristic of them. Ragnaros, Li Ming. You know, this is so North America, you know what I mean? I thought we were going to get the juicy draw and busting out the creative, you know, international flavor here. And in fact, we are getting cookie cutter North America. A little bit different priority, though. That is something to consider.
Yeah, Ragnaros going down quite a bit. ETC, well, Malfurion's always been up pretty high.
Yeah, he's
really wanting to make sure that they could get ETC, but there are a lot of spots where you can get great mosh pits. If they want to go that route, or globals, again, are very nice for Dragonshire because you can win a team fight and then make that fast rotation to be able to get the Dragon Knight in other situations where you might not be able to otherwise.
Superstars has to look to pick up a top laner. Or not. Oh man, not this again. Not Zeratul top. Not like this. And the Valera lock in last pick for Tempo Storm. Interesting to see the Valera locked in there last, purely based on the fact that that ETC was a choice there at the top, showing that Tempo obviously puts a lot of value still into the ETC over the Varian, because the Varian Valera lockdown is absolutely absurd. And it's not like ETC provides that much to the wave code to justify unless you're looking for the stage dive to complement the map itself, you know, having that pseudo global, not using it for the fights itself. That might be the argument. I do think it would be a stage dive purely on that and the Johanna existing elsewhere.
It seems to me almost that Tempo Storm is a team that picks a warrior, and for the most part, that's the warrior we're going to play this week.
This is the warrior.
And this week is ETC week.
Okay, we found ETC week. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good week for ETC week. I mean, he's good all around. I don't think it's strange that they go that direction. But yeah, I guess that is a good point that they, it's just we really like him right now, so they're going to move in that direction. I'm not even going to say it before the game because I have so much to talk about Zeratul top lane. It was a trend 4 or 5 months ago, and it just had so little success on Dragonshire. We've seen it time and time again. It is just, if you pick Zeratul, in my opinion, if you pick Zeratul on Dragonshire and he's a solo laner, you shouldn't pick Zeratul. There's almost any other hero in the game that can do it better. They're looking for the Wombo with Zeratul Jaina, but just watch what happens top lane. It's just most of the time it's very lopsided.
It couldn't be Falstad instead?
They could, and if they do the Falstad, then it would be a little bit better, but Falstad, I don't know how well he does to that matchup. He should do okay. And that would make it all right. But it is still questionable because, again, top lane's so easy to gank. It's going to be a high priority. Falstad only has the barrel roll. Once it happens, he's a very free target to get the pick. It's always safer to have that up there on top. So I really hope Falstad is on top and Zeratul's roaming. If Zeratul's top, it's a sad day because he brings no threat to the map. And to be a first pick of all the things, it just doesn't. If it's a first pick, it needs to win or accent the game in some way, very positively in some way, right? And in the top lane, it just doesn't ever happen. But that being said, they do have the Wombo combo, so maybe a huge misplay on the side of TS in the back half of the game, they could just turn it around.
We'll see if they can do just that. Superstars need this win to be able to keep their hopes alive in this series. We're headed into Dragonshire.
Hosey, please pick Season Markman.
That, for those of you at home, is the indication that he's probably going to be solo laning. If he goes Gathering Storm, he'll want to be in the 4-man rotation to be able to get as many stacks as he can on Gathering Storm with his hammering.
He's holding it. They're thinking about it, which makes me feel like he's going to be the solo. I don't know. We'll find out. Other than that, though, here, Tempo, they've got the Valeera. They've got Psalm on it. He's scary on that hero. Pretty much all the pros in Hero League right now are just busting out Valeera left and right, and she is absolutely terrifying.
Gathering Storm.
Gathering Storm. So he's going to be in the 4-man. Is Zeratul going to move top? His first transition is hiding that way, but he's not moving and committing to minions. He's going to cut somebody off in the choke, which is just good play all around.
Superstars didn't even move and start out in the bottom lane.
There it is.
Jumps in, mostly on the chase. Oh, quick root follow-up Psalm, and deleted is Falstad right out of the gates here on the third game. In the third game, even.
All right, so Zeratul is going to be the top there. He is, in fact, going to be the top. He's going to struggle in the 1v1, provide very little to it. Over the long run, Ragnaros should be able to just push in over time. It's going to force somebody to go up and answer and baby the Zeratul, which is then going to draw from the 4-man. The 4-man kill potential is absolutely ludicrous on the side of Tempo Storm. So in all cases here, either Zeratul loses top very hard, or they draw resources and he ends up losing elsewhere onto the map here. It's going to be, it's not that it's not possible for Superstars to win or make these plays. It is just, it's one of those situations where the easier comp is the better comp. Almost 90% of the time, the easiest heroes are going to be the best ones. It's just because you know the value, it's reliable. And we'll see, as we see Superstars is trying to mix it up. They're running 3 tops because they understand their circumstances here. They've got to shift something around because the traditional strat with Zeratul top is just, it's a weak one.
Yeah, and in general, if you have Zeratul Falstad, then you say, okay, well, at least if our opponents know that either Falstad flies up or Falstad's the one who is top and Zeratul flies up, then, or sneaks his way up, then we can get a kill on the top laner, and so that keeps the top laner back. But for Tempo Storm having Valeera, that directly counters that aspect too. Ragnaros can play more safely and more out aggressively because they know that Psalm is right there too to be able to help out.
And the biggest thing for me, and not only beyond the setting him top, is Falstad actually transitioned towards top. So this is, they're still kind of running this 3-2 split, kind of babying the lanes. But the biggest thing is Zeratul committing to the kill potential in the 4-man. They picked Jaina, right? Zeratul will be the best follow-up setup confirming of these kills in the picks early game. Will he get this? Ray's got one blind. He should be able to buy time there. Falstad's transitioning towards top. Valeera is going to rip him to shreds, though, if he shows too far. He backs out. So very smart play, but Psalm is just waiting in the shadows top. Oh, so close there. Falstad, very patient. He was about half an inch from losing his life.
Superstars took a big risk trying to get their... hold on.
That's a winning trade for Storm.
Trying to get their Giants down in the bottom because it left people off the battleground. And Tempo Storm almost got the Dragon Knight, but the fact that they were able to hold out without Tempo Storm getting the Dragon Knight, now having the Giants at the bottom, that will help that less than ideal 4-man for Superstars where they've had to send other people up in the top to try to deal with Ragnaros and Valera too. So Superstars doing what they can to buy time, keep their lanes from getting extreme pressure from Tempo Storm as they work their way up to the Wombo combo at level 10.
Good orb there. Cawthon, Zeratul, and Valera are in fact going to be here into the bottom lane. Another major difference when looking at the comps, at least, there is no easy reveal on the side of Superstars specifically to be able to deal with the Valera, and that's going to be hard. Anytime you can reveal her, it's more impactful than it is going to be on the Zeratul, purely based on the fact that it just gets new spells and stealth.
Valera so far undefeated in HGC North America, as is Zebo, I think. He had been 3-0 along with Valera at the start of the weekend. 7 almost here. Superstars pick it up just slightly ahead of Tempo Storm to get those talents. This will be valuable in helping Superstars maintain this last push until they get Void Prison Ring of Frost.
Yeah, Tempo has done a very weird rotations when it comes to the early parts of this game, considering their 4-man compared to their opponents. Obviously, their opponents do have good clear. They counter with mediocre clear and definitely solid kill potential, but they haven't committed as 4 almost at all. Outside of that first pick early on, which was 5 versus 5, rare exception, and minions weren't up, they are just letting Superstars run this weird 2-3 split and not punish what I would consider a very weak early rotations and decision-making. There's a stun, I say it, and they finally do move to that kill. That's when only 3 of them there. Imagine a power slide prep. Like, it doesn't take much, and that's why I'm surprised they haven't, committed so heavily as 4, and they've kind of had this weird dangle in letting the counterplay of Superstars comp work out.
And I'm also surprised that Cleanse hasn't been picked up by Icona just yet. Probably will be.
The far side dream, Ripperoni and Pepperoni.
We haven't talked yet about Ragnaros' build. Caterpillar picking a Shifting Meteor to build up his Living Meteor duration and being able to change the casting. I don't think I've seen this yet, to go into Living Meteor build instead of Empower Sulfurous. Yes.
All right, so Living Meteor build until, Ragnaros released, it was the, I think, most successful build across the board. Then it got nerfed, and then everybody moved directly more into the queue. What it does do, oh, that is a dead Fae. Good cleanse coming out from Icona, but it's just not enough DPS, giving the reset to Cawthon. Goku has to pull out. That is going to be a wave clear attempt here as Tempo Storm. Fury is going to be able to get that free... No, false side capture on top. My bad. But Meteor build, it has better wave clear. It's safer wave clear more than anything. That's the most important part. He doesn't risk any of his own deaths. And it's just good poke in the long run. And it should be able to add up. It's just going to really hurt the backline of Superstars a lot of the time here, considering they have very squishy backline. It just puts them in a less risky position. That being said, I still think we'll see the same 13, Heroics 13, 16, and then 20 might fluctuate, but the rest of the build should remain the same. Just because that 13, 16, insane.
Yeah, the level 7 is the one that combos very nicely with the quest talent at level 1. So if Fury's able to land a really big mosh pit, then having that Living Meteor to hit a lot of people, it's going to amp up the damage of the next Living Meteor. Void Prison has to be burned by Goku, though. Tempo Storm, we're chasing down Srey, uses Iron Skin. Tempo Storm trying to use this amount of time with Void Prison down to their advantage, and that maybe will start with a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, good job by Fury, buying a little time. Jaina did manage to capture on bottom. You see the Death Squad is what I'm nicknaming them now with the assassination potential they have. Are moving towards bottom. Ragnaros is buying time towards the mid. It's also going to help with delay onto the DK if you're ever concerned about that. But good pickup here onto the Giants. They're going to buy needed pressure for Superstars into the laning phase and aspect here on Dragonshire. But without the Void, their team fight potential drops severely. We're yet to see what we're going to see Icona move into, but I think there's a 0% chance we see him go Bloodlust here. It just doesn't fit the comp even a little bit.
Fury did get stage dived instead of mosh pit, so favoring the global here, being able to quickly get into a team fight, which we might see him do here with all eyes from Tempo Storm on the members of Superstars.
I think it makes the most sense not only to match the global, it complements the map, like because the globals are so valuable into the map, but more importantly than anything, it's just the interrupts are so easy on the opposite side that this is one of the situations where I would prefer that. So I like that we see that out of him. Psalm is going to stealth up. Goku gets sniffed out, drops through. Kotha with a combo. He's going to teleport it. But it's fine for now. Both shrines captured by Superstars for a minute. June, aggressive position. Throws down the scouting drone, gets cleared up. Song moving in, though. There's going to be one stun. Dead. Instantly deleted. Power slide's going to come out in a second. Iacona, you can seal the same fate as your allies here. 2 picks up. Tempo just slowly gaining control of this match. 5-0 in kills.
That was seconds before Zeratul would have had Void Prison to be able to help out and maybe turn it around. But now with that 2 members down, Sam keeping a hold of Goku here in the bottom lane, trying to make sure that they can hold on to this shrine long enough to get it. Yeah. Again, Void Prison has to be used defensively.
No counter response as well when it comes to the rest of the team there. Jaina not being alive doesn't have the option to void it out. You know, Psalm here, even winning the trade into the 1v1 onto Zeratul. His build, sticking to what we've seen so far at HGC into the kill build. We'll see the isolated probably at 13 damage. I want to know if we're going to see the Ragnaros 16 change, actually. I might be a little bit wrong. We might see him move into Meteor at 16, but I still feel like, I mean, that max percentile HP is just so good, but maybe without the reset at 7, it's not going to be winning trade there. So Pure Smash was dodged.
Nice barrel roll and a gust. Hosty gets away. Again, those Superstars have to use a lot of abilities defensively, but they're still biding time. They have 13 at this point, so they could fight if they want to, but the Wombo is down. The Wombo is the problem. They need Void Prison, and they need Ring of Frost, and then they need to get to a point where Jaina and Zeratul are together. That's kind of the issue, though, with Dragonshire, is that you don't often have a lot of these 5v5 fights, so there's just skirmishing happening everywhere across the map.
Especially when half of your combo is in top lane. It's a struggle. They have done better. Oh, June, the Blessed is gonna get it. Very well done. Finally, a pick here for Superstars. I was gonna compliment, they did do a good job of not making it up there the entire game, but again, you know, just the lack of pressure elsewhere and committing a solo top to be able to match the Ragnaros. Suddenly, I feel like this early game would have been a very different tale for Superstars. But, you know, getting that pick, that was a huge moment. The question is, what can they get out of it? You know, are they going to be able to make the proper rotations, transitioning towards top, threatening the ETC, who is just constantly split pushing with Echo Pedal? There is no, you know, proper, if you will, warrior or solo hero to be able to win ETC, because ETC is not a great solo, but just nobody on the side of Superstars is that good either. Therefore, he will be able to out-sustain and wave clear, and then global his way down. The only way it's
pretty scary for Superstars that they have 2 members down here. Knights, but only just now to Tempo Storm see the Bruisers were challenged. They're going up to the mid, trying to get the Dragon Knight. They will make those rotations faster. Holsty's the only one here. There goes the stun. Barrel rolls again. Nice cleanse. Amazing cleanse from Iacona.
I've never seen a support bait an engagement that hard in my life. That was so good. Kona's just like, wait a minute, check this. They're going to go for you. Hold on. And just beautiful cleanse. Bought the heroic, more importantly than anything. Hosty, fine. He's going to make it out. This is it. Superstar should force now. Morin Core was used on bottom to deal with the pressure they provided. Top, there's a skirmish. Obviously, Zeratul's not looking too pretty, but he's going to be fine. That flight is going to happen there. Psalm's in a bad spot. Can they get it? Goku, the Ancestral not going to land. Psalm with the dash gets the kill. Very well done, putting Tempo even farther ahead here into this game.
Tempo, every single time, figures out a way that they don't have to deal with the Wombo combo for Superstars. And Hosty, again, just barely makes it away from all of Tempo Storm, but still, Tempo Storm remain in control of this game. They've had Ragnaros at the bottom. He's cleared up the push of the mercenaries from Superstars that bought Superstars the time to move up to the top lane and try to get that Wombo, try to finally combo Void Prison with Ring of Frost. But instead, losing Zeratul and not having anyone in the bottom, Tempo Storm gets the first dragon.
So we do see Cattle did change the his 16 talent with his build going into full Meteor. I still thought, you know, again, the insane threat potential it puts onto the front line with that max percentile HP might be the choice he moves into, but no, in fact, he's going to do a lot of damage. If you hit the very tail end after that level 1, you can redirect at the very last second. When it finishes, it does an absurd amount of damage. It's kind of like use like a Cho'Gall bomb controlled by one person, and it can only blow up at the very end. Like that, it does a lot of damage, as you see to Faye and Saray there. But Faye made it out. Good cleanse from Iacona.
But that's down. Tempo Storm on about it.
They're down ETC.
There goes the gust.
Can they void? Is this it? This is the moment.
Goku's moving in. Hosty's in trouble. Sam's on the chase. Jumping over after Hosty. Faye sees it. Void Prison in the back. Where's the ring?
Stage dive completely scares Jaina to get the follow-up. She's not going to be able to make it happen. The Void used the Gust as well, but it all resides to really nothing gained so far for Superstars.
Frustrating point so far in this game, in this series for Superstars. They've been able to hang up with Tempo Storm. They've stayed caught up in experience, at least in the talent tiers. They have 16, they want to make the fight, but now no Void for 70 seconds. There are options for starting that fight are limited.
This rotation towards mid, there's going to be no pressure point really where a team has the advantage. It's just we're going to keep watching the same trend, I guess, keep happening throughout this game because neither really has enough with how much damage was taken onto the DK very early on, which was definitely a big mistake on the side of Tempo. Stray getting caught out. Are they going to ring response now? They have Blessed. They could.
Siren Spin's already down. Those great zoning
There
grids.
it is. No ring's not going to be used. Oh, it does. It only hits one. A tad spot here for Superstars. It's just like nothing is working out here in this game for Superstars. Like they're just like a fraction of an inch away from making things work, a fraction of a second, but just they're so far away that they aren't making the plays that they need here.
You have to give props though to Tempo Storm for making that happen.
Oh yeah, like the stage dive from
kills
Fury?
they've gotten, yeah, stage dive from Fury, making all the right choices to keep Superstars from ever getting that, because that's exactly what you have to do. You have to force Void Prison to be used defensively or Ring to be used out of the combo. Now the cycle's there, Void Prison's up, 40 seconds for Ring of Frost though, 16 seconds until Shrines. And once again, Superstars are going to try to do what they can to group up in a place, whether that is putting mercenary pressure somewhere and then Posty can fly in, but try to get a lot of the members of Tempo Storm and see if they can make it happen. It only takes once though. It only takes once to swing around momentum with the massive destruction you can do with that.
Coordinated Valera is so freaking scary. That is true. It is absolutely terrifying. You have an option of a silence. You got the option of a burst. I agree with that wholeheartedly here. As Psalm is put in a clinic, you see just the combo. Goku, oh my goodness. He stealthed up, so there's no reveal possibility on the side of Psalm. He can't reveal, but now he can, and that's going to be one dead Goku. Very easy baiting there, coming out from Cattle.
Stage dive.
They're going to use it out. Faye even goes down here, Gilly. Things are just falling apart right now.
Molten Core still throwing out damage too. Stray and Iakona's in trouble. Iakona's going to buy time for Stray to get away, jumps back in. But still a 3-kill sequence yet again for Tempo Storm. Have not lost anybody, and importantly, the Shrines are up. Fallout has done what he can to buy time, moving up to the top lane, getting that Shrine. Tempo Storm, in using Stage Dive, just have to go up to top the old-fashioned way, sending up Valera.
One thing W build Ragnaros does do well is Siege. It's just absolutely ridiculous what he can make happen. There's going to be the double cap here onto the Shrines. Bottom is going to put a lot of focus. DK will be picked up here probably by Tempo. I don't think there's enough tools unless Falstead like miraculously flew bottom now, but that would be way too risky. Should be able to get this here, and they're going to open up the map. I would like to see them take out mid 4 first, then move to bottom keep, but I feel like with 20 advantage, 16 minutes in, they're just going to look for the free keep. Yeah, which looks like that's going to be the choice for Tempo. Reasonable. I think it's safer because you can get that mid 4 later with your power play, so it's probably safer to use all of the DK here. But it's going to be very important to rid of that mid 4 to help with the rotations if this game lasts past this DK, which it is almost 100% going to, unless Superstars just 5-man wipe somehow for no reason.
Goku once again spot out, Scouting Drone coming in, paying off in dividends for Tempo Storm.
Tempo is not very efficient when it comes to the Dragon Knights, though. They just suicide them in, like right now. That was a free keep. Obviously, ETC's not with them, but that was a keep play with 20 advantage here. 16-minute DK is definitely not lethal, but it is enough for those major objectives, and they gain almost nothing out of it. It's the second one they've done it, so if they're picking it for practice or whatever they're picking Dragonshire for, I would like to see them make huge changes on how they use the objective itself.
In the fight between Goku and Scouting Drone is 1-0. He was trying to take it out, but Psalm's defense and not quite landing the singularity so I can take it out is it's unfortunate. Goku could not get the flanks that he would have liked. If he could only flank in and catch a lot of these members, but even with that, Tempo Storm trying to make sure that they are as spaced out as they can, continuing to put on pressure while they know Superstars just wants to get to 20.
There is a way around this for Goku. It takes a lot of time, but it's possible because Scouting drones are only ever laid to be flanked from, a 45-degree angle. They're never from a 90. it is possible for him to go for a huge flank on the backside and legitimately come from like directly behind where Tempo Storm would be moving. And at this point, with how frequently we see the scouting drone placed at those corners, it's amazing that we are yet to see teams force them to lay 2 because there is still a flanking point. It's just, or it's going to be placed so easy that the rest of the team can get a free clear. So maybe we'll see Superstars make that adjustment. That is a very difficult one to identify in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
Maybe afterwards be like, yeah, no, we can totally do this. But Superstars, again, is in a game where they're even in experience. They haven't lost a keep. They aren't losing the game when looking at, the numbers that we see, but they have not had a moment where they looked like they had control.
There's also a place where maybe Hosty could fly in just off of that, but Hosty is the one who's been in trouble from Psalm a lot of the time.
There's a flank. This is such a bad spot for Faye.
Oh, no Jaina, so that's it. No Ring of Frost, but the Void Prison is down. Psalm goes into the Smoke Bomb. Superstars already trying to retreat, but there's a long way to go. Stage dive down, Gust follows.
Yeah, 8 seconds here before we see the map objective spawning. So does Superstars have the tools with Epic Mount? They should be okay. In fact, HGC not going the reset there onto his stage dive when heroes are going to be hit. Will hurt them a little bit when it comes to the matchup. So like we had, global on global matchups. Suddenly we have a global with a very short cooldown versus a longer one. So we'll see if Superstars can punish. But this is a 19-minute Dragonite. The keep here is going to be the focus. And no matter how much Tempo Storm may hate using the Dragonite, I think it's going to be near impossible to not get this keep here.
17 seconds until Jaina's here, but 50 for Void Prison. They'll have to do the defense that is a lot without. Goku was diving in. Now he's being chased all the way back, but that just buys some time for the team to burn down Psalm's Dragonite. It's about at half health.
It's not game yet. It doesn't have to be game. It could be. Just because that Dragonite is pretty strong, but it's way too weak too. There's going to be the Molten Core. Gust is still up. It should be game as long as they get a pick, but it doesn't have to be again. So here we go. Void's up in 23. Psalm's already going in there, pulling out the combo. Gust is still up again. Oh, but the pick onto Iacona, that might be enough. Blessed Shield's used. Will June survive? He bolts, he dreams, and Psalm locks it in. That huge play is going to be enough here. 80% onto the core. Goku into the 1v1. And Tempo Storm low on HP though. Oh, they're not gonna. Oh my.
Psalm's going in. Goku goes down. It's Goku gets 2 kills off of that.
Sray is not going to be able to complete this. Does he have Indestructible? He in fact does. So he will be fine in this trade. He doesn't want it procced right now because if they go for the core, he can actually win. He can stall this if he has it. But if he doesn't, then he's going to be in a bad spot. So backing out here, maybe looking to get a tap if he has it. He's waiting to restore the shields, more important. So there he goes in. Okay, that's fine.
Focusing on Ragnaros especially.
Yeah, so now look for the condemn onto the minion. So now they have to tank it. Oh, he should have stayed back a little bit. It's such a bad spot. Can they do it?
Submerge 33%, 31%, 25.
No, this is it. He pulled away the stage dive on top of it. Tempo is going to take the series 3-0. But it was pretty close at the very end there. There was a small moment where maybe Superstars had a shot.
I saw Zeratul dive in at the end. I was like, Psalm, because we've seen so much Psalm, but Goku did what he could there at the end, getting the double kill. Even Sray trying to just buy as much time as he could for his team, but just the 2 members of Tempo Storm, the dominance of Tempo Storm and their composition throughout, able to get a 3-0 victory in this series. Well done by them, keeping their spot at the top of North America, at least through this first part. Yeah,
and again, that affects their seeding 100% is going to be confirmed now as the #1 team, correct?
Yeah.
For IEM, now that they got this 3-0. So it is 100% the Tempo will be the #1 seed for North America.
Yeah, it's great showing for them again. What we expected, of course, from Tempo Storm as we came in not only to this series, but as well just into North American HGC. Because of all the experience that Tempo Storm's had, the stability of their roster as well. They have a lot of synergy together. There have been some high and low moments for them. They lost to Gale Force Esports when Gale Force came in with very targeted picks. They painted a target on the back of Tempo Storm. But in the end here, still being able to defeat Superstars 3-0 was a great way to not only in this part for Tempo Storm, but have a great momentum going into the Western Clash.
I think it's good even for Superstars. It obviously may not be the dream ending that they were hoping for, but I think more than anything is that even looking at this series, if they compare what their play was compared to even week 1, it didn't look like maybe their prettiest performance, but I think you can see those drastic improvements, and that alone is something that I feel like they can, at least go home and be happy about. For Superstars.
Yeah, I agree. Superstars had a fantastic improvement. We'll look forward to seeing more of that improvement in the future. We're also looking forward to talking to Sam. Hey man, congratulations. You guys are going in as the #1 seed to the Western Clash for North America. How's the team feeling?
We're feeling really relieved. We were kind of down after the GFE loss, but we're glad that we can close it out still as the first seed.
So I want to talk to you about double support on Fraxis Holdout. Can you talk us through where that strategy is coming into play, what it's useful for, what it's useful against maybe?
I would not double support with Medic just because it's just so vulnerable to dive. It's special. It's special. It works against like very passive, very slow, sustained kind of comp. So kind of like a Zul'jin comp that you're playing against, but it's special. Not for every game.
I'll remember to, and my own games at home, I'll just be like, nah, guys, this draft, it's a special one. No, I promise. I got to figure it out. But no, again, congratulations for you guys to be able to lock it in. Was there anything, what was your guys' thought process with the Dragonshire pick specifically? It's a little bit of change of priority when it comes to the maps. Was it more just you guys, wanted to mix it up, go to the Dragonshire, get some more games and practice on it? And just curious.
I think we like Dragonshire a lot. I think our team's biggest strength comes in our rotation and macro play. And like our overall presence on the map, like everywhere at once. I think that is our strength. So that's, we like maps like Tomb, Dragon, whatever rotates that a lot.
Sam, I asked Gale Force, but I want to hear your thoughts as well. How do you think North America is going to do at the Western Clash? And you guys specifically, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve there?
So at the past 3 times we've played Europe, we got 2-0'd by Dignitas. So that's our #1 priority, is getting some vengeance, maybe take them down 2-0, 2-1 maybe. But yeah, I mean, obviously we would like top 4, and the goal is to win it. Maybe ask Reina for a pay raise.
How do you see the rest of North America doing as well, Gale Force and Team 8?
I think we've got a good shot. I think the teams we're going with right now, they have really hard work ethics. All of them really want to win. That's their #1 priority, and you can see it with the performances of GFE and Team 8. You can see their hard work in action.
Yeah, you can, as well as you guys too. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you at the Western Clash. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to my family. Thank you guys for always supporting me. Shout out to my girlfriend who always watches me. Shout out to my apartment. Yeah, all of them are watching me in like the living room 5 steps away. And shout out to Temple Storm. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter, twitter.com/SomHots, twitch.tv/SomHots. And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. Important shout out to the Mickey sheets, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a Psalm interview without it. Duh.
Of course.
Of course. It's, it's cooler than Space Bears, with the lack of respect there. It's just that they're Mickey sheets. Never forget. Okay, actually, the Ron wall, probably
that's
the
best.
#1. That's
the
number one. Yep. But Mickey sheets close second.
Speaking of Ron wall, though, we're gonna have Team 8 playing up next. Before we get to that, though, guys, Western Clash. So pumped for that. And Tempo Storm now looking great as they get ready to go into that. We saw Gale Force Esports yesterday, too. That is going to be March 3rd through 5th. At the time, it's going to be at 1 a.m. Pacific or 10 a.m. CET. So don't forget, if you want to find out more information or if you have to catch up on the VODs too, playheroes.com/esports. That's where you're going to find everything you need to know, especially early next week. Make sure you're checking in there because there's going to be a lot more information released about the Western Clash at IEM Katowice. Man, Dread, the teams, they're all decided now. We now have the Australia-New Zealand team as well, so they're all decided, and it looks to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm thoroughly excited for the the event itself. More importantly, the NA versus EU memes coming out as in full thriving
full
there.
Force.
Yeah, full force there. But no, I love the clashing of metas. It's without a doubt the most satisfying thing when studying Heroes of the Storm is seeing these intricate, flavors within the territory itself, and how does that work when comparing it to something else, and then what is, we almost come up with a conclusion of what is the most optimal temporarily version of Heroes of the Storm, and it's beautiful to see played out, the high level skill, but then also to study as well. Everything about it is thoroughly exciting. So.
In the Eastern Clash too, that's going to be amazing. exciting. March
Yep.
17th through 19th. More information is to come about that, but we'll be providing the English commentary right here out of our studio for that. So that is going to be just so exciting to see all of these regions finally come together and clash after we've seen so much improvement from all of the teams so far.
Yeah, it is going to be amazing, especially with the Easter clash. Having China, having Korea go head to head again, and we have like new era of Korea almost for the first time. Minus like L5, they're kind of an anomaly there, but all the rest are trying to find themselves, and it's awesome. Even next week's games are pretty hyped for them as well. So,
well, we have one more series left here at HGC NA for part 1, and that's going to be Teammate versus Team Freedom right after this.
I'm searching for an apprentice. Someone to train in the art of righteous warfare. Someone to carry my shield, my name, and my crusade after I fall in battle. Not everyone is suited for this life. The crusade is a heavy burden, but someone has to carry it. My name is Johanna. I am searching for an apprentice. Interested?
Heroes of the Storm. Play free and experience the new StarCraft-themed battlegrounds. Rated T for Teen. Ragnaros!
As the Lord of Azeroth's fire elements, Ragnaros desires nothing more than to burn the world to ash. Under the command of the old gods, he waged a war against the Titans eons ago and was banished to the Firelands after his defeat. Ragnaros has returned to threaten Azeroth twice, once when he was summoned by the Dark Iron Dwarves, and again when Deathwing shattered the world. The Fire Lord now turns his rage toward the Nexus, intent on incinerating everyone and everything within it. Ragnaros is a resilient melee assassin that controls the battlefield through his mastery of flame and by taking over allied or destroyed forts to call upon his full power. Ragnaros' trait is Molten Core. When activated, Ragnaros takes the place of a targeted allied or destroyed fort for a short period. Although he cannot move, he gains a new set of abilities that can devastate the enemy team. Ragnaros is much larger and more powerful while Molten Core is active, but his health bar depletes over time. When it reaches 0, Ragnaros returns to his normal form. Empower Sulfuras is Ragnaros' primary attack ability. When cast, it causes his next melee attack to hit instantly, dealing area damage and healing him for a portion of the damage dealt. While Molten Core is active, Empower Sulfuras is replaced with Molten Swing. Ragnaros swipes his hammer in a wide arc, damaging and stunning all enemies hit. Ragnaros can also call down a living meteor, which crashes upon a target location, then rolls in a straight line, damaging enemies in its way. You can choose the direction the meteor rolls while targeting. Living Meteor is replaced with Meteor Shower during Molten Core. Instead of calling down a single rolling meteor, Ragnaros summons several that land one after another in the chosen direction, slowing enemies they hit. Blast Wave provides both utility and damage. Ragnaros places a buff on himself or on an ally that temporarily increases movement speed. When the buff expires, it explodes and deals damage to all enemies within the blast radius. When Ragnaros activates Molten Core, Blast Wave is replaced with Explosive Rune. Ragnaros burns a fiery rune onto the ground, which explodes after a brief delay for heavy damage to any enemy standing on top of it. Sulfuras Smash is Ragnaros' first heroic ability. Ragnaros throws Sulfuras into the air, and after a short time later, it slams into the ground, dealing damage to all enemies in the target area. Enemies in the center of the area suffer triple the damage and are stunned afterwards.